Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make a Batwing dress and I saw all these dresses on ASOS and I think they're really cute. So I wanted to make one. What I really like are these sleeves. They go from the wrist all to the waist, and I'm certainly gonna make the web part as in the pink one. I like that very much. I must say it makes me think of the very first blouse that we made here on Make What You See in the shops, because this pink dress, the two pictures are exactly the same, the top and the back with that string in the back. I like that, but I don't think that I'll make it now because this will be a dress for the winter and I always wear shirts under my dress, so when I have that open dress with that tie, I don't think it will look that cute if you see my shirt that I'm wearing under. So I'll make the back just normal. I think with the slit like the black one, a little slit in the back. The front certainly with that web overlay. What I think I will do is I'll make a top and a skirt, not a dress, because then I can wear my skirt also separately and I can wear my top separately. So I'll make a top and a skirt. I certainly want the skirt to have an elasticated waistband. I think I'll make one with 2 rows of elastic, then you have a more nice broad band, and I think that it looks nice when you tuck this shirt in, of the top in. So we're gonna make the web in the front for the top. We're gonna make a little slit in the back, and then a rather wide, I like a midi-skirt length, so I'd make it midi-skirt, and then a rather wide skirt because of the elasticated waistband. I don't make it really wide, but I gave it a bit, and I have a really strange fabric to make for it, so I'll show you later on. So this is the inspiration. Well, for the drawing, nothing else to say, I think. Maybe I'll put some strings on the end of the sleeves, because when you put your arms down, the fabric falls a bit over your hands sometimes, and then you need something to make it a bit tighter so that it doesn't go all the way over your hands. But well, I think it speaks for itself what I just told what we're gonna make, and we're going straight on to making the pattern. First I'll show you the fabric that I have, because it's a really funny fabric. I found it at the outlet of my fabric store, and they had it for €1 a meter, and I got eventually I think 5 meters, and he said okay, for €3 you can get it, but then it's all done, it's all gone, and then I'm off with it. So I got this fabric, and it is, I don't know if you can see it, the whole fabric is like smocked. It's all elastic sewn in, the whole fabric, and so it is elasticated because of all the elastic that is smocked in here. So it's a really funny material. It also is not doubled up. Normally the fabric is 150 doubled in centimeters, but this is just angled, so it's 70 centimeters wide. So that was a bit of a trouble. I just find out with my pattern, but I'll explain later on. But it's a really nice burgundy fabric, very stretchy, so, and it's not that thick. I think it is somewhat cotton blend, but it's very nice material. So I will tell you what my problem was with the width of 70 centimeters, because then you know that for the future when you see something if you can buy it or not. But I figured it out, so it was not a big problem. It was just an adjustment that I had to make it, but I was not thinking of. So I'll tell you later. So we have the pattern. It's not that difficult. I made the edge of my paper with black because then it's easier to see, I think. The whole table is black now. So this is the edge of my paper, and what you do is you make a straight line, as we always do, for the mid front and the mid back. And then what you do is you take the measurements of your neck, how wide your neck is. For me it is 14, so half of it is 7. And from this you make your line for the mid front of the top, because that is in an angle for the wrap over. And then what you measure is how low you want your front to be, your, what is that called in English? Your cleavage, I will say. So how open you want your top to be. I want it at 20. And then you make a straight line from your shoulder down to the end of where the top will end. So just go straight down. Well, I will tell you that later. Make that line. Then measure out how long your torso is, so where your waist is. For me it is 40. So mark that on that straight line. And then you go to the sides, and to the side is your quarter waist size plus 20%. I don't want it too wide, but I want to tuck it in a little bit in the skirt that has elastic, so I want it not straight flat in, but just with some gathering. So I took quarter waist plus 20. You mark that there, and then you can draw a line there. And then what you do is you mark or you measure how long you want your sleeves to be. There I got my problem because I wanted 65, but with my fabric I can't get 65. 65 for me was long sleeve to my until my hand. But if you have normal fabric, then you can do till your hand or maybe half your underarm, whatever you like. But keep in mind that when you measure with your arm up, straight up to the side, that measurement will be longer than when you put your arm down. So when this falls down, when you have your dress on, it will fall lower over your hands. But you can always adjust that later on when you are trying it on and you see, oh, now my sleeves are too long, then you can always shorten it. So don't make it too long, you don't need really that much fabric, but measure how long it is. Then measure how wide you want it around your wrist. So take your wrist, take your measuring tape and measure how wide or how tight you want it around your wrist. Then mark it out. And then you're gonna make a line from your measurements plus the 20% to that point, and you make a curved line, and that is for the batwing. Then what we do, I don't want mine to stop at my waist, so I took 10 centimeters extra. Just measure it out 10 centimeters below this line, and then you align this line to that point. And that is your whole front part. The back part is even easier, so I did it on this same pattern. The only thing is different is your back pattern ends here in the mid back. I will make a seam there, so if you can put it on a fold, but I can't, so I make a seam here. And then you cut out your neckline. Normally it's nice, it's 3 or 4 centimeters down here from your shoulder, make a curved line. And what I'm gonna do, because I already have a seam here, I make a slit in the back as we already saw in the picture, and then it's even easier if I already have a seam. If you don't have a seam, you can also just leave this out, then you don't have to finish this slit. So this is the pattern. We're gonna cut this out. Oh, for the skirt, that is even easier. Measure the length of your skirt. I take it 70 centimeters because I like a midi skirt length, but you can take any length you want, and add to that measurements for the casing. I took 4 centimeters, so then I can have 3 rows of elastic on the top of the skirt, and keep it some extra for the hem. I also took 4 centimeters for that, and the width that I took is 70 centimeters because that is the width of my fabric. So I cut out all the pieces. I'm gonna start with the top. And what I did, I cut out the back and the front, but I also cut out some facing. So I cut out the front part of the top, the mid front I must say, and I made a strip of fabric that is 8 centimeters wide in the same shape as the mid front of the top. So that's a nice strip that you can finish the mid front seam. And I did the same for the back, the neck back, and also 8 centimeters, the same shape as the neck of the back. So that's for later, but already have cut it out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stitch the mid back seam. If you have a seam, you can also put a pattern on the fold, and then you don't have a seam in the back, but I had to because of my fabric. So we're gonna sew the mid back seam if you have that. And when you've sewn that, then you open it up. And then we're gonna sew the whole shoulder arm seam. So you put right sides together, the front and the back. And that's a whole lot of fabric. Let's see how this is. It's like this. So align them, the left and the right front. And seam the two shoulder and arm seams, and you can also sew the under seam of the both from the left and the right. As most of the time I use my serger, but you can certainly do this with a normal sewing machine. If you have a stretch fabric as I have, then make sure you take a stretch stitch and use your stretch pressure foot, because otherwise your fabric will get worn out or wrinkled in. So make sure you use your stretch settings for your sewing machine. And now I can show you what happens if you don't use a stretch stitch and mode on your sewing machine, because my serger doesn't have it, but normally I can adjust it by giving it in the right way. But I think you can see now that this is all wrinkled up. You see that? Yes, like this. And that is because the serger doesn't take it in the right way, so it stretches it out and then you get this wrinkle. So I cannot do this with my sewing machine or with my serger, because this is so extremely stretchy with all the elastic, with all the smog in here, that I cannot adjust the serger to fit it in well, because it is too much stretch. So I will cut this off, and I will have to show this first with my sewing machine in the stretch mode, and then I can serge the edges just to finish it off. But the seam I cannot do with this, and that's why you have to have a stretch mode on your sewing machine to avoid this, because this is really not nice when you open this up. This is the wrong side, but you can imagine how it is when you open this up to the right side. This is not good. So that you see now it's a perfectly straight line, so I can decide if I want to hem this or finish it with the serger anyway. I can, because the seam is now secured, but I can also do a zigzag stitch on my sewing machine, and I think I will do that to finish this, to not get a bulky wrinkling because of this serger. So I think I'm gonna just use my sewing machine for the finishing. Always before you sew the next seam, I will open your first seams, because I'm gonna sew now the underarm seam, but you make sure you have the upper arm, the shoulder and the upper arm ironed open, because then you get a really nicer finish of your product, and it looks very much more professional when you iron every seam open after you have sewn it. So make sure you do that. You'll see that it looks really much better after you have finished your product. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pin the shoulder seams together of the two facing parts. So you have the front and the back, and you pin them right sides together. Then you sew that, and when you've sewn it, you pin it around the neckline, right sides together again, and you pin the whole back neckline and the whole front all the way down the end of the front line. And what I did, because I want to have a slit here with a button, I sewed on a little loop for my button to hold on to. So I also pin along the sleeve, along the slit, so that it is finished too with this facing. So I sewed my facing on, sorry, and what I always do is I try to iron it really nice and flat to get the seam neat, but this fabric is very difficult to iron, so I cannot really get it as flat as I want it to be. So I think what I wasn't planning, but what I have to do to get it nice, is I have to stop stitch this seam. And because when I have to do that, I think I will top stitch this down onto the other side. It also will be a fake wrap. It will be a wrap, but you won't wrap it open and close. So I think I will just stitch it down that that is attached to the other side of the top, and then I think I will cut off all this excess material that I have here, because it's a wrap, so it's a double, and I don't need all that fabric here, and then I have less bulk around the waist. So I think I will do that. Maybe I will put some snaps on here just to make it a bit nicer, because this was not really what I wanted to do. And then maybe embellish it a bit with these plastic snaps, and then not attach this already, but just from the waist, or from this, that's not the waist, but from here down I'll attach it, and here I just stop stitch it, but leave this not fastened to the back. So that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe put the snaps in, hem the bottom and hem the sleeves. If you don't attach this, then try it on as I did and pin it down how you want it to be closed. These plastic snaps to put on the top, and they're really awesome. They're very easy to put on, way more easier than the metal ones that you have to hammer in, and then it's sometimes not secured, they fall apart. And these plastic ones are really great. I use them very much, and you can get all the colors to use, and then you have always the right snap on hand, and it's very nice to make. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I'll try to show you how it works. You make a hole with this puncher, and then you put the backing with the pin through that hole, and this fabric is really dark, so I hardly can see where the hole is, but I think it is here. I thought it was there, but it's not. Do it again. You put that in, and then the point goes to the other side. Then you put on one snap part, you put it over that pin, put it on a bit, and then you take your plier, you put it on and in between, and then you squeeze, and you don't even have to squeeze that hard, and then one part is done, and then you have another part for the other side that it can snap on, and it's really easy to make. It's no fill at all, and you have a really nice finishing of your top or whatever you're making like this, and it's very nice snap. And then for the skirt, it's pretty easy. we sew the two side seams, put your fabric's white sides together, and then you finish the top of the skirt with a zigzag stitch or with a serge or whatever you like. And then we're gonna fold over the 4 centimeters of the facing on top of it, and then we make 3 rows for our elastic. So pin them down where your rows will be. They are each 1 centimeter, and stitch all the way around 3 casings for the elastic. And leave an opening at the side seam so that you can put your elastic in with a safety pin or so a special needle, whatever you want. Then you put your elastic in, and then the only thing you have to do is hem the bottom, and then we're finished with everything. So good luck with the last step. I must show you something. I'm really in war with this fabric. You see that? My whole sewing machine turns red because of this fabric. It's really insane. It's this whole side where the fabric is laying when I'm sewing it. It's not even that obvious on camera because when you see it in real life, this whole piece is pink almost. So I'm really in war. And this is the final result. I'm very happy how it turned out because I've been really in war with this fabric, and I'll tell you later what happened. But I'm pleased with the result at last. It looks very nice. I think it's very comfortable because of the white sleeves. I think the look is very nice. I'm glad I made the top and the skirt apart so that you can mix and match. And because I think I will wear the skirt a lot. I'm not sure about the blouse. I think it looks nice, but I don't think it's that versatile or that special to match it with something else. Then I have too many nice tops that I would prefer. But I think it looks really nice. I put a belt on it, but I show you how it looks without. Because I also very much like those 3 rows of elastic. It looks nicer cinched in than with just one board or just one elastic. So I like this look. I don't know if you can see my button and my slit in the back. Very nice detail when you have to put your hair up. So I'm very pleased with the result. You have the sleeves. And what I did, I put these snaps on, and I'm very happy with that. I think it looks very nice. I put on 4, I think, yes. And that makes that this is still open. I can still open this up, but this is attached from the waist down. And so I think it looks very nice. I wasn't planning to do this because I wasn't planning on top stitching this this part, but I had to because of the fabric. And I think all the snaps look very nice. It's something extra on the top, and yeah, I think it looks very good. What my problem was with the fabric is the serging didn't work, but that wasn't really such a great thing. I have that never last time because I have worked very much with the serger, and I know how to work with it, how to fill the fabric in, and normally that always goes well. Well, this fabric didn't. I think because of all the elastic that is in here, and well, that was one. But then I had problems with the stitching here that I had to do, and I had a problem with the shoulder seams because I always want to iron down my seams immediately after I've sewn it, because then you get a really nice, neat, flat seam and it looks more professional. But the problem was I couldn't press it down. I ironed it, it wouldn't get flat, it wouldn't get nice. So then I ironed it with steam. Didn't work. I did it with my steamer, didn't work. Then I thought, oh, okay, then I top stitched this too. I top stitch it with a zigzag stitch, but still it wouldn't look nice. And I thought, well, now I really have a problem, because then I'm not gonna like this, then I'm not gonna finish it, I'm certainly not gonna wear it. I have to think of something. And then what I did, I took my fabric softener that I bought for my camel coat. If you saw that video, you know that I didn't like the smell of the wool, and I bought the softener to spray it over to get rid of that smell, and that worked very well. But normally I don't have fabric softener in my house because it's bad for the environment, and I don't like that. So now I thought, well, I have it, I can better try it. So I put the fabric softener on top of the seam and immediately put my iron on it, and that helped. Now it is pretty straight. It's not exactly how I wanted it, but it is pretty good now. And that was the only way I could press down these seams, and it was really a struggle, and it took me really a long time and lots of thinking how I could get it like I wanted it, because I know that otherwise I won't wear it. If I'm not happy with the result, I will not wear it. And well, now it is acceptable. What was the other thing? Oh, and the other thing that I had, if you saw it in the clip, I think it wasn't really good to see on the video, but the left side of my sewing machine is pink now. This fabric obviously gives off color, and the whole left side where the fabric is going over when you're sewing it is pink, and it looks really bad. I really have to get it off before I do a next project, because I want to do the next project with a white fabric, and then that will be pink too. So I have to try to clean it very thoroughly to get the ink out. Normally I always wash my fabrics before I make something out of it. Now I didn't, because I thought, well, this is not going to shrink with all the elastic. It's just a tight fabric that won't change. But normally I always wash my fabrics, because often there is something in that will shrink, and you can better wash it first that it has shrunken, and then make your garment. Then when you make your garment, you wash it and then it shrinks and then it won't fit you anymore. So always wash your garments. And also now I should have done it, because then I would have got rid of the color and I wouldn't have a pink sewing machine now. So it really looks bad, but well, we're finished. It looks really nice. I'm very happy with it. It was a struggle, but I'm glad that I can start with a new project now, because I'm really done with this. But I'm happy that it looks nice, and I think I will make one out of sweater fabric. I think that would look really nice in a dark blue sweater fabric or something like that with the sleeves. I think that would be a really nice result. Or maybe out of velvet. I think that will be very beautiful too. But first, another project. No more Batwing dresses for me for some weeks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe if you like my videos, and I'll be back next Monday with a new video. Bye.